What is up, guys? In today's video we're going to be watching and reviewing some replays that I got in the last couple of days, and I actually managed to push to 7,100 trophies, and I'm actually very close to top 1k, so I'm really happy about that, and I'm gonna try my best to beat my record this season, even though it's gonna be very hard because it's a very short season. And yeah, I mean, let's hop into the first game. So in this game we're gonna be going against Mega Knight Bridge Spam. It's actually a pretty popular deck, so I wanted to show you guys how I picked that. So yeah, let's see. I just went with the Goblin Barrel to start off the game into the Bandit because I didn't want to let him get a split push early on. And here I believe I just used the Valkyrie to deal with, like, I used the log. Oh, I actually didn't use the Valk. I used the log and guards. Not really sure, but yeah, I'm sure here I just used the Inferno Tower, yeah, and that dealt pretty well with everything. And yeah, here I was forced to use the ability of the Archer Queen, but yeah, I just used the E-Spirit to tank the couple of shots that the Queen would have got there, and yeah, that dealt pretty fine with it. And yeah, here he has a kind of elixir advantage, so yeah, I played it a little patient. I just went with the Valk here for this Royal Ghost, and yeah, I just set up the defense here. I was trying to cycle back to my Inferno Tower for this Mega Knight, but yeah, I'm not really sure what I did here. I think yeah, just used the Princess to tank. Yeah, that was actually the only thing I could have done there, because my the MK would have just jumped onto the tower there, and that would not have been optimal for me. So yeah, that was not really optimal for me as well, but that was actually, I think, the best thing that I could have done there. And yeah, here I believe I just used the rocket, yeah, because I had the value with the Royal Ghost and the Ram Rider, so yeah, that was pretty fine by me. And yeah, here, yeah, once again, he has a pretty big elixir lead. So yeah, going into double elixir, it's not really the best. But yeah, I still managed to try to defend with a positive elixir trade at least. Here he's gonna use the lightning, so I played the princess out of lightning reach of the Inferno Tower, and yeah, that should have done a pretty good job here. And yeah, let's see. I think I just went in. Yeah, I went in with the Goblin Barrel plus E-Spirit, and yeah, here since he has Zap plus E-Spirit, I didn't manage to get that much damage. But yeah, I still managed to get some chip damage there. And yeah, here I went with the Goblin Barrel to outcycle him, and also went with the E-Spirit because I knew that he would probably use the lightning onto the Inferno Tower, and he didn't have a zapping cycle to defend the Goblin Barrel like he did earlier. So yeah, that was pretty well done. And yeah, here I believe I just went with the guards, yeah, pretty nice guards there, not allowing the Ram Rider to get through. And since he used the zap on offense, I went with the barrel and I got one hit. Yeah, I mean, I got one hit, and he also spent like 6 for 3. Here I believe I just logged the bandit there because I could actually kind of afford to take the damage from the bandit, and that was not really too bad. And here I believe I just went with the rocket. Yeah, okay, I went with the rocket because I wanted to keep my Inferno Tower for the MK. That's why I used the rocket there. And yeah, let's see. Here I went with the princess in the opposite lane to avoid giving him a lightning value, because his MK was on the right, and I didn't want him to like build up a crazy push and as well get lightning value on that. So yeah, that's why I went with the princess to the left. And yeah, here unfortunately the Archer Queen gets a shot, but here I could definitely still make the defense here. I went with the Inferno Tower like this because I didn't want the Royal Ghost to connect into my left tower because it was already kind of low. And here I believe I went guards behind the MK to actually DPS it down. And yeah, I mean, if you do that, they're absolutely gonna destroy the MK. And yeah, here he just gave up because there was no way he could come back at this point. And yeah, that was a pretty well played game against Bridge Spam. We're in the next game here against Onian. And yeah, this guy is playing Golem, but like the Golem cannon card version. So yeah, I mean it could be a little rough, but yeah, let's see how he can manage with that. At the beginning, I was waiting, but I never would like to wait too long because against lockbait, like with lockbait, you don't really want to wait too long because if they're playing a bit down deck and you wait till double elixir, you're pretty much gonna lose, I believe. Um, unless they make a big mistake. So yeah, it's not really worth it. Yeah, here unfortunately he went with the Inferno Tower and with the tornado, sorry, and he activated the King Tower. So yeah, that was kind of unfortunate, but yeah. The good thing about this deck is that it doesn't really have a small spell, so I could pretty constantly get some chip damage with my Goblin Barrel. Here I believe I just went with the Spirit as well as a Goblin Barrel. I'm not really sure. Yeah, I did that, and yeah, as you guys can see, he didn't really have the best response because I was still trying to figure out if he had a Barbaro at this point because I wasn't really sure. I mean, I thought that he should have it, and here I went with a beautiful rocket here because that was actually a terrible cannon card by the opponent. And yeah, I'm not sure why he said thanks because that cannon card gave me so much value and I got a pretty substantial lead there. Maybe he just wanted me to rocket there, but I still managed to defend very easily. So yeah, that was kind of a bad play by the opponent. Here I went with the guards as well, I believe, like on top of the golem to DPS it down, and as well as oh, okay, no, I didn't use the guards. Yeah, I used the Inferno Tower and Valk because I kind of knew that he would use the tornado to pull it towards the Inferno Tower and yeah, I mean to reset it. Here I went with another beautiful rocket because I managed to defend very easily and I still have the elixir lead so that I could definitely afford to rocket there. And yeah, here I believe I just went with the spirit, yeah, not spending too much, and with the log as well here because my princess was still on the field and she would do a pretty good job at cleaning up the guards there. And yeah, here I went with another princess because normally when golem players have E-Drag, they don't really have lightning as well. So yeah, here the E-Drag actually managed to connect onto the Inferno Tower. So here I believe I just waited a little bit and then went with the rocket. Oh, actually yeah, my tower, like his tower was already on the rocket range. So yeah, I could just log the tower and rocket there. I didn't really realize that he was so low, but yeah, that was a pretty good game. So in this next game, we're gonna be up against this famous Royal Hog Psycho Spam deck. Yeah, which can be really annoying to face with log bait. So yeah, I thought it would be pretty nice to show you guys this replay. I went with the Goblin Barrel early on and I got some pretty nice damage as a lead, which is very key in this matchup. You always want to have a little bit of damage ahead of the opponent. And yeah, here I went with the Princess at the bridge because he used the skeletons, so he didn't really have them to like spam them out in the middle and try to predict my princess. That's why I went with it, and he was forced to use the delivery, so that was pretty nice by me. And yeah, here I believe I just went with the Goblin Barrel to cycle. Yeah, pretty nice Goblin Barrel there. I'm not really sure why he played the log like that, but yeah, I mean, he was still fine there because the skeletons dealt with that pretty easily. Here I went with Valk plus log, which is actually one of the best ways to counter Royal Hogs. And yeah, here once again with the Princess at the bridge, and he was once again forced to use the delivery. Unfortunately here, he used the Fire Spirit in front. Very well played by the opponent here because I didn't manage to get any hits, because if he played it in the back, I would have got like at least 2 shots with the goblins there. Yeah, here he went with the EQ. I'm not really like a big fan of that EQ, and also went with the delivery there. So I just went with the rocket because he just spent like 6 elixir for pretty much nothing. So I could get back at him with the rocket, definitely. So yeah, the good thing about like playing princesses at the bridge is that you can play mind games with the opponent. and like not player when they don't expect it. And yeah, here since he went with the since I tanked the like right here, since I tanked the fire spirit with the princess, I knew that he wouldn't really want to spend way more. So yeah, I went with the pre-log there, and I forced out his log, so he was forced to use the delivery on my barrel, and he wasn't on time, so I got some pretty nice damage here. And that's actually what you guys want to be doing. I mean, you really want to pay attention to what you would do in that situation. I mean, if you had a 1 HP princess and you had skeletons, of course you would like just want to use skeletons and not like use a full cannon or something to just defend like 1 HP princess. That's why I kind of knew that he would use the skeletons there, and I pre-logged them. So yeah, that was a pretty nice play. And yeah, here I went with the Valk because I don't really want to take any damage from the Archer Queen. And I'm not here. I think I just focused on defense here. I'm not really sure because yeah, I really needed to like defend at this point and just rocket cycle, because in this game, once you get the damage lead, you just need to like make like a couple of good defenses and just rocket cycle. Here he used a pretty bad ability there because the E-Spirit retargeted the Archer Queen, so she couldn't really activate the ability there. And yeah, I think I just went with the Valk and Inferno Tower for that. Okay, pretty nice there. And I believe that I will start rocket cycling pretty soon. I'm not really. Oh, actually, yeah, I went with the princess at the bridge here, because I had the other one at the bridge, so I thought that he would probably expect me to wait until my princess got to the bridge. But yeah, I also managed to cycle to another one, and yeah, since I was into rocket log range, I just used them and got a pretty nice win against a very hard matchup there. So this next match is gonna be a pretty nice game against MK Spam, like MK Bait. And yeah, I mean, it should be a pretty easy matchup for Logbait. I mean, I have a pretty good matchup here, but this guy played really well. And yeah, here, as you guys can see, I was not really in the best shape because yeah, I mean, that log was just, let's not comment on that. But yeah, I still got some damage there. So as you guys can see, I mean, this guy doesn't really have the best responses to the Goblin Barrel, but he can definitely outplay me in towards like double and triple elixir if he plays well. So yeah, here I believe I just used the Inferno Tower like this to pull everything to the middle, and I also used the Valk to avoid taking too much damage from the miner, because I didn't really need to defend the skeleton barrel any further. So that was a pretty good Inferno Tower there. And yeah, here I went with the barrel and E-Spirit because yeah, I kind of expected that it would use the E-Spirit and not the bats onto the Valk. So I wanted him to like to force out some more elixir out of him, and that really worked well, because now I have a pretty small elixir advantage, but it still counts as something. And yeah, here I went with the princess in the back and also used the guards to defend the miner and the log as well. He kind of got quite a lot of damage from that, because I mean the skeleton barrel deals quite a lot of damage when it like splashes onto the tower. And yeah, here I believe I just used the E-Spirit for the Inferno Dragon because he just used the zap, so he couldn't really get too much damage from me. So that was pretty nice. And yeah, I think I just reset with the princess in the back here, because you always want to play the princess in the back, because she can actually get quite a lot of value for you guys. And yeah, here I knew that it would use the MK, so I just used the Inferno Tower up high. And yeah, since it didn't have the zap, I knew that it would just like let the MK go because he couldn't really do much else. And yeah, here I went with E-Spirit as well, because right here, since the Inferno Tower was still up, I knew that he wouldn't really play a big unit, and the bats were the only viable option. So yeah, that's why I used the Spirit there, and I forced out quite a lot of elixir out of him. But yeah, right here, you might guys think that, yeah, I mean, you have a huge lead. I mean, you're pretty much just gonna win at this point. And yeah, but yeah, this guy played really well towards the end. Here I was forced to use the Valk because I didn't really want to take the damage from the bats, because that would have been really risky by me. A very good Goblin Gang by the opponent here. And yeah, here I believe I just went with the guards in the back, and yeah, tried to like defend the skeleton barrel with the E-Spirit. But yeah, I had to use the log just to make sure I was able to defend there. And yeah, here I went with the Goblin Barrel to the corner, because I knew that he had the Goblin Gang. So if you place it here, and if they place the Goblin Gang in the back, the Goblins are always gonna connect. So that's a pretty nice tip there. And yeah, here I believe I went with guards in the middle. Yeah, and right here I took quite a lot of damage from that, because yeah, I missed the timing from the E-Spirit, and yeah, the bats also did quite a lot of damage. So yeah, that was actually not really the best defense by me. But yeah, here I managed to catch back up on damage, and that was pretty damn close there. But yeah, here I believe I just was able to get a rocket down and win. But yeah, I mean, I made a pretty bad mistake there towards the end with the E-Spirit. This guy played really well towards the end as well, and actually throughout the whole game. I had a pretty good matchup, so yeah, pretty nice win there. So in this last game, we're gonna be up against Graveyard, and actually this is a really hard matchup for Luck Bay. I wasn't really expecting that, because I have never really faced this deck too much. But yeah, I mean, I had, that was such a struggle to beat actually. So yeah, I thought it would be pretty nice to show you guys, because it was a pretty interesting game. So yeah, here I believe I just went with the Goblin Barrel on defense. I'm not really sure. Oh, I just used the log here and used the Goblin Barrel. Yeah, the Goblin Barrel and E-Spirit right here. I wasn't really sure. And yeah, the E-Spirit actually managed to do a pretty nice job there. And yeah, here I went with the Princess of the Bridge to pressure, because I wasn't really sure yet of what the opponent's deck was gonna be. And yeah, here just an easy Valk here, because he wasn't really gonna use the ability with no value. So yeah, that was a pretty nice clean defense there. And yeah, here I went with the guards in front of the Valk, because I expected that he would use the Inferno Dragon. But yeah, unfortunately he didn't, because that would have been a pretty nice play there. But yeah, it didn't really hurt me to try that. And yeah, here I could just log here, and that was a pretty fine defense overall. And yeah, I mean, I still wasn't sure of the deck, to be honest. I kind of had a feeling that it would be Graveyard, because he used Skeleton Army and Freeze. So I didn't really see anything that would synergize well with Freeze, except for Graveyard. But yeah, I was still kind of unsure about the deck. And yeah, here I went with the early Inferno Tower, as well as the Goblin Barrel, because yeah, I mean, even if he used the ability here, I could just Valk, and yeah, the Valk does such a great job against the ability of the Skeleton King. And I'm not sure if I went with the Princess at the Bridge here. No, I didn't. Actually, that was pretty nice by me, by not doing it, because I was kind of low on elixir. So yeah, that was actually a pretty nice play by me to not do it. And yeah, here I knew that it would use the freeze on defense, so I was ready with the log as well. And yeah, that was a pretty nice defense overall there. I mean, I could have been much worse. And yeah, let's see here. I believe I just went with the Inferno Tower in the middle, and as well as using guards and Valk on defense, and yeah, also the Spirit and log. Okay, just the log here, because yeah, I mean, the E-Spirit would have been very late. And yeah, here I'm not sure. I believe I just went with the Goblin Barrel. Oh, actually I went with the rocket. Yeah, actually, yeah, that was a pretty nice rocket right here, because the opponent couldn't really punish me for that yet. He had to cycle back to the graveyard. And yeah, here, since he went with the arrows, I went with the Goblin Barrel. And yeah, since he had to use the freeze on defense, I could still managed to defend pretty well because the guards were still alive there. And yeah, here I have a pretty big damage disadvantage, but yeah, here since he didn't really have enough elixir for the arrows, I went with the, I got some pretty nice damage with the Goblin Barrel. And yeah, right here, that was a pretty nice Inferno Tower because he doesn't really have a reset for it. So yeah, he was forced to let the Skeleton King just die there. And yeah, here I went with another Goblin Barrel, but this time to the front because I knew that he didn't have the arrows in cycle. So I got some very nice damage there, recognizing that he would just use the Skarmy there. And yeah, if you guys play the Skarmy, like place the Goblin Barrel in this position with the log as well, you're always gonna get so much damage if they play the Skarmy. So yeah, and right here I went with the rocket plus barrel because he didn't have the logins at the arrows in cycle because he used them once again, and I knew that he would just have the skeleton army because as you guys can see here, he was only back to skeleton army like very late, and he was forced to take so much damage. And yeah, right here it was just a matter of time. There was just no way that he would take the whole tower at this point. So yeah, that was actually a pretty nice win against a very tough matchup. And yeah, the BM at the end, because yeah, I was kind of happy to beat such a hard matchup there. So yeah, that was a pretty nice win there. Guys, I thank you guys so much for watching the video, and I hope you guys enjoyed it. Let me know what you guys think of this format with the replays instead of the live commentary. I think that live commentary is always gonna be better, but I wanted to know if you guys would like me to just go over some replays and go over my own mistakes. Maybe I could do that in the future. So guys, let me know if you guys would like to see that. And yeah, I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye guys.